Okay, so I can't seem to imagine why some of you just don't seem to like this dirty sock on the Zoom mic. What's up with that? I'm just kidding, it's kind of gross. Some of you guys absolutely hated it. Some of you guys loved it. Personally, this is my YouTube video and it's easy and I needed something quick. However, for those of you that did hate it, this is your chance to go leave this video, go watch something else. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. In all honesty, it's kind of gross. And I would advise each and every one of you to never bring this on an actual paid shoot. Don't do this. It's just nasty. To be honest, I think this actually is a dirty sock. So now that all the people that hated the sock in the first place are gone, I'm probably going to end up using this thing, which is just a Yeti mic. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan Luth. I'm a filmmaker based out of Orange County, California, and I run a video production company called Luth Productions. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a super cinematic looking commercial video, whatever you want to do, using only 2 lights. So there's a couple quick things before we jump into it that I want to talk about. I'm setting some goals for myself on this channel now that I'm finally being able to be more intentional about putting out more videos. So I'm trying to at least get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year if possible. It would mean a lot if you guys could help me reach that goal by hitting the subscribe button. I'm also trying to come up with some more video ideas, so I'd love it if you could leave a comment below and let me know what kind of content you've liked so far that I've put out, maybe some subjects you want me to make videos on. But yeah, that's it. Let's get going into this. So the piece we're going to be taking a look at today was a pretty low budget job. It was a promotional ad for a church sermon series. So it's a very basic concept, and we were able to get super creative with it, which was really fun. This was almost a year ago that we shot this, but I've kind of always been stoked on how these shots turned out, so I wanted to just break down a little bit how we did it. If you guys want to watch the video itself, just go click here or there, or I don't know, wherever I put it, and you can go check it out. Okay, so I'm gonna break this down in terms of our shooting locations first. We shot this in less than 5 hours over the course of an evening. This first location was this awesome lookout here in the town I live in. We had a crew of about 4 people on this one, so thankfully I did actually have some help with these. So these shots were our talent, who is my wife, was walking through the bushes and running and staring out into the abyss. We had an Aputure 300D and then just a little Nanlight 150. So my main approach with pretty much all of these shots was to use the 300D as a backlight to create some seemingly unnatural, like bluish moonlight. Instead of soft, I went specifically harsh on this because I wanted it to feel a little more artistic and creative rather than supernatural feeling. So the second light we used was the Nanlight, and I'm not even really sure if this counts because it was more of a practical like prop thing that she was holding in almost every shot. And to be honest, I don't really know why I had her hold it. I just thought it looked cool. And I mean, if you look at the shots, I think it did. But yeah, it added some nice fill as well to her face. So it kind of created a color contrast, added some fill. But for each shot, we mounted the 300D on a combo stand, raised it way up into the air like a backlight at like 10% because it was really dark out. And then just had Lena running around holding the Nanlight in front of her. So it was pretty simple. The only shot we did something a little bit different were these shots where I just had one of the guys hold up the light and swing it around as if it was a car light driving back and forth, you know, when you do like a poor man's process. And it kind of created this cool like Salomon Lighthelm, if you've ever seen his stuff, kind of effect that I got really stoked on. So we just kind of like flipped it around like that. But after we wrapped on our location at the lookout, we drove back to my house and set up the 300D outside of our kitchen window. And a smaller light, I forget what it's called, but I'll link it here below. But that basically just acted as our backlight. So the 300D worked out great for shining through the window because it had some shears on it that already softened the light and then created this cool effect when she opens the curtains. In order to get the bluish feel from the window, I believe we balanced our camera's white balance at 3000 or something, which made the 5600 Kelvin balanced key coming through the window appear blue in the camera. And then since the backlight was color variable, we were able to change the temperature as warm as it could go, which I think was all the way down to 2000 Kelvin. That way we could still keep a warm feeling backlight on our subject. So we kept this setup for almost all of these shots by the window here, and then just turned the backlight on and off for some of the shots behind the back. The only different thing we tried here was for some of the same Salomon Lighthelm shots where she walks up to the window and there's this orange glow passing by the window hitting her face. That looked really cool. For this, I just had one of the crew members do the same thing. They went outside with the Nanlight, We set it to an orangish setting, and then just keeping our cameras white balanced around 3200 Kelvin. I just had them pass it by the window back and forth as Lena walked towards the window. All in all, we're pretty stoked with how the final ad came out, and I left feeling encouraged. I'd been able to achieve pretty close to my vision, at least, only using 2 lights, which was great. We were on a time crunch, we were low on budget, and this had to be done super quick, so we weren't able to put a whole lot of effort into it. So we had to stick with 2 lights on this one to keep things simple, and it worked really well. If you want to make things look cinematic, but you're on a budget and want to get really creative with it, the 2 things I suggest to keep in mind is just focus on your key and your backlight. Those 2 lights were basically the building blocks of the whole lighting for this shoot, because we're still able to light our talent's face and help them stand out from the background, and we're creating depth in our image by backlighting them. Anyways, I hope these tips were super helpful for you. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Consider hitting that subscribe button if you like this kind of content and want to see more of it, and I will see you guys in the next one.